Who will be the next leader of the National Party? And will that same person lead the National Party into the next election? Next Tuesday, the National Caucus will vote for a new leader and deputy. Sources have told Checkpoint Amy Adams and Simon Bridges, as a combo, if they can make that work, have the numbers and have discussed supporting each other as leader. So where does that leave the other contenders? Our producer, Bridget Burke, phoned around to find out.
I'm Simon Bridges, leader of the National Party.
I'm Amy Adams. I have the privilege of leading the New Zealand National Party.
I'm Judith Collins. I'm the leader of the National Party, and my position as leader of the National Party has been voted on by the caucus as well. A lot of input from the members and supporters.
Well, I can't yet because I'm not.
Stephen Joyce, leader of the National Party. How does that sound?
Well, that's certainly what I'm aiming for on Tuesday.
4 of the 5 contenders for the National Party leadership. The 5th, Mark Mitchell, declined to be interviewed, but here's his colleague Stephen Joyce. What's Mark Mitchell like?
Good guy.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You'd work closely with him?
I work closely with all of them.
Yeah.
And have and will.
And here's Simon Bridges.
I think Mark's a nice guy.
So, 4 days out from Tuesday's caucus vote, who has the numbers? Checkpoint understands Christchurch's Amy Adams and Tauronga's Simon Bridges have been working closely together and, between them, have the 29 votes needed for one to become leader, with the other a consideration as deputy.
Well, the discussions that Simon and I have had have been along the lines that whoever wins the race, and if it's one of us, as between the two of us, we will both work very hard and fully in support of the new leader. Exactly what position that might be in, we haven't agreed, we haven't resolved, we haven't even attempted to resolve, but we've both committed to each other. If Simon's the leader, he has my full and unequivocal backing, and if I'm the leader, I know that I will have his full and unequivocal backing, because as a party, we all know that if we're going to win, and that is our goal, we have to do it as a unified team. We have all had that message absolutely hardwired into us.
Oh, I think that's right. I think the reality is that, I have a huge regard for Amy Adams and the other candidates there as well. I know that at the end of this process, there will be a leader. I hope it's me. I'm putting myself forward for that reason. I want to be leader of the National Party.
I think that both Simon Bridges and I represent the right blend of experience and yet renewal for the party. And as I said, if he wins, I've said to him, I want to be part of his senior team and be right in behind him.
There are no fixed rules within the National Party constitution about how the leadership vote takes place, but it's understood it will be a knockout. Caucus members will vote for one of the 5 candidates. If none of them get more than 50% support, or 29 votes, the lowest ranked is knocked out and another round of voting takes place until one candidate gets majority support. The same goes for the deputy leadership. Former Finance Minister Stephen Joyce is confident about next week's vote, despite not having a running mate. Amy Adams has told me that her and Simon Bridges have had numerous discussions about that, and they've agreed that they would both be happy to serve under each other.
Well, actually, all the candidates have had discussions, but I'm not going to be sharing those. I mean, obviously, you'll have to vouch for your conversations, but I've had discussions with both Amy and Simon.
If Simon Bridges and Amy Adams do have the numbers, Judith Collins doesn't want to know about it.
I'm not aware of anybody selling themselves as a combo, and I believe that this is a position of leadership. It is not actually a combo. A combo is something we might have in a fast food restaurant.
Can you please use a word to describe Amy Adams?
I think she is hardworking.
Okay. What makes Paula Bennett such a good deputy leader?
I think she's very approachable.
Does a good deputy leader make a good leader?
Sometimes.
We asked the 4 candidates where the Labour government is vulnerable.
Look, I think they're vulnerable in terms of their lack of cohesion, that they are 3 parties with very different views on actually many, many things. Over 9 years in opposition, these parties haven't done the groundwork to have a program that makes a difference for New Zealand.
They're absolutely vulnerable on their competence and ability to deliver on the highfalutin and grandiose promises they've made to this country. They've shown no signs of having either the team, the talent, the plan, or the comprehension of what it's going to take to live up to what they've talked about. And I think that's going to become very clear to New Zealand very quickly.
They're vulnerable because of the government. They weren't ready for office. They have a lot of things they don't know what they actually want to do, and the things they do want to do, frankly, will take New Zealand backwards.
They're actually vulnerable on several fronts, but if you consider what Labour has as its biggest advantage, it is the fact that it has Jacinda Ardern as the Prime Minister. She is a formidable opponent, an opponent who should never be underestimated and who has been underestimated in the past, and she has been able to cobble together a government, as all coalition governments are, pretty much cobbled together, and she is the person who has to be held to account for doing her job for New Zealanders, the job she is paid to do.
So who has the numbers?
Look, I'm doing well. Obviously, we don't talk about those sort of things. It's not the done thing, but I feel good about it. I feel I'm continuing to pick up momentum as this has gone on for nearly 2 weeks. Like anything, I can't count my chickens, but I go in, feeling optimistic and ready to give it my absolute best on Tuesday morning when the final votes are held.
I'm not talking about who's got what numbers. I think there's still everything to play for in that race. Each of us are out there talking to our colleagues, getting as many votes in support of our own candidacy as we can. And as at right now, there's certainly no deal in place with me and any of the other leadership contenders.
I don't know that I'd see any of them as a threat. I think it's a good contest, and we'll find out the answer on Tuesday.
How many votes have you got?
I have a substantial number of votes, and what we're not doing is releasing any of those, because until those are voted on Tuesday, there are no votes.
Complete the sentence. New Zealanders are?
A wonderful, resourceful, inventive people, which I'm very proud to have been a part of a government leading them for the last 9 years. And I think if we get the policies right from a government perspective, we can have a wonderful time ahead of us because of that talent, that inventiveness.
Decent, hard-working and fair.
New Zealanders are?
The most aspirational group of people, I think, at heart, that you could come across. We are innovative, we are successful beyond what on many measures we could or should be, and we recognise the incredible beauty of the country we live in. And I think every single New Zealander wants to have the best for their family, their children, their grandchildren, and wants to continue to have New Zealand being not only an incredibly beautiful place, but a prosperous and fair place.
Complete the sentence. New Zealanders are?
A fantastic group of people.
An announcement on who will be National's new leader is expected on Tuesday afternoon. For Checkpoint, I'm Bridget Burke.